Hey everyone, welcome to 9 Seconds. My name is Marci Batiste. I'm the founder and executive director. We're a progressive nonprofit organization with a non-traditional approach to domestic violence prevention. Our work involves providing women with the resources and the training that is critical to their ongoing health, safety, and success. And one of our core beliefs is that in order for us to be the best at what we do, we have to get down to the root of the problem, get down to the root of the dysfunction and abuse that's occurring in our homes and in our families. So today I'm coming to you with the first of at least 31 messages because we are walking straight into the month of October, right into Q4 for those of you who are in the corporate world. And as many of you know, October is historically been Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We partner that with Breast Cancer Survivor and Awareness Month. So to my pink ribbon and my purple ribbon survivors, I salute you. So today's message, I really want to talk to you about mindset. I want to talk to you about how you think. Like I said, we're progressive and we're non-traditional. So much of the training that we provide and the work that we do here at 9 Seconds is going to involve some non-traditional methods. And one of those is really, in order for us to get down to the root of the problem, we have to understand and comprehend how we think. And then once we understand how we think, figuring out why, etc. and so on, we'll go into all of that in another video for sure. But for the sake of today's conversation, I want to talk to you about how you think about yourself, how you think about the world around you, and if you are in or have been in an abusive relationship, how did you think about your situation or circumstance? Because at the end of the day, our mindset controls everything. It controls everything. So as long as until we can believe that we're deserving of something better, until we can believe that something more is possible, then we're always going to find ourselves reverting back to the circumstances and the situations that affirm our non-belief, which means we're going to go back to what we know. And so, one thing that you guys will learn about me is, and for those of you who've known me for a long time and know the work that I do in domestic violence, I'm completely transparent. And when I tell you that this organization, the reason we're non-traditional is because it's made by survivors for survivors. We want you to go from survivor to champion. And so all of the programs, all of the training, all of the work that we do is centered around preventing ongoing and future violence in our homes, in our families, and in our communities. And that starts with, like I said, how we think about things. And one of the tools that we use is you'll hear us talk about something called a generational system, right? And basically, in a nutshell, we'll go into that super deep on another video, but in a nutshell, the generational system indicates the situation or circumstances, the experiences that you were born into, right? So what did you see from birth, from age 0 to age 7? So from birth to age 7, what did you see? What did you observe? What were you taught? What did you experience? That creates the foundation for our beliefs. It also can create the foundation for our non-beliefs. It can create the foundation for self-esteem issues. It can create the foundation for, really having a depleted self-worth. And it can show up in many, many different ways. But for me, I'm gonna use myself as an example. Like I said, always going to be transparent with you. I feel like there's not ever going to be anything that I would ever ask you as a member of our community that I wouldn't be willing to answer myself or do myself. So that much you can always be assured of. So for me, what I realized was that I had foundationally built the belief, I thought, that finance and being able to manage my finances adequately and be self-sufficient financially would be enough to prevent domestic violence. I didn't understand that the root of the abuse the root of it went much deeper than that, and it went into those core beliefs. It went into the lessons that I learned in my generational system. And so what that looked like for me was, although I was a six-figure earner, I was a corporate executive, I was highly successful by many people's measures, inside I was an emotional train wreck, to put it mildly. I had zero self-esteem. I had zero identity awareness, didn't know who I was. I couldn't tell you after my last abusive relationship, I couldn't tell you what I liked. I could tell you what every previous partner that I had ever had, their favorite colors, their favorite sports, how they like their eggs, what they like to drink, you name it, so on, so forth. But if you asked me, Marci, what do you like? I was lost. I was abso-stinking-lutely lost. And how that manifested later in life was because I wasn't clear about who I was. I didn't have any identity of self. I didn't have any esteem of self. I became whatever I felt somebody else needed me to become. So if you wanted me to do X, I did X. If you wanted me to do Y, I did Y. If you told me that the sky was orange, I wasn't about to argue. I might not have believed you, but I wasn't going to argue with you about it. I was going to meander along in the relationship, because if you liked me, I liked you. And I thought that as long as I didn't make waves, I kept quiet, I acquiesced, I catered to, I served, I submitted, I did all those things, that domestic violence would never fall upon me. And if I ever found myself in a situation that looked like it would become abusive, I had the finances and the wherewithal to exit stage left. Not true. Not true. So for me, what that looked like was finding one after the other, after the other, after the other, emotionally unavailable, disconnected, ill-prepared partner, one right after the other. Like, I never believed that I deserved the high value guy. I never believed that I was the high value woman. But here's what I'm going to tell you about that. Because of my financial capacities and the size of house I had and the kind of car I drove and kind of job I had and the roles and the circles that I moved in, men saw me as a high value woman. And so they would approach me, and I didn't have a boundary. I didn't have a boundary because my belief system was like shot. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know. I just wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be chosen. I wanted to be wanted. I wanted to be loved. And for me, I would do just about anything in order to garner that affection from my male partner. So until it became physically violent and I was put in a position where I could no longer deny the fact that I was in an abusive relationship, that I was in love with an abuser. I had to be assaulted. I had to have my door kicked in and be held hostage, and a whole number of things, which I won't go into on here. There's other videos that talks more in depth about my story, and I'll share bits and pieces of it throughout the month. But I say all that to say that I found myself in the predicament I found myself in because of my foundational belief, my foundational disbelief, I should say. I didn't believe that I deserved the high value guy, even though they observed that I was a high value woman. I didn't see myself that way. And because I didn't see myself that way, I constantly shrunk myself. I shrunk my intelligence. I shrunk my conversations down to the level that let them feel elevated. So, and it would continue that way until I found something to disrupt it. For me, the physical abuse, the final assault was the disruptor. That was the bridge. That it was my fork in the road where I had to go either right or left. And if I chose wrong, I would more than likely end up dead. And so I knew that I had to do some work and that sort of thing. I knew that I had to heal myself, but I didn't quite know how I was going to do it. I didn't know where to find the resources. I didn't know what I didn't know is what it amounted to. And so I muddled my way through. I have an amazing village around me. And my village at the time made sure that they helped me find the resources. They helped me find tools. They helped me find training that I needed to start digging myself sort of out of this perpetual hole that I was continuing. Like I was just in this thing, like this cycle. I was in this cycle because I didn't realize I was inside a cycle. Okay? And so all of this, guys, is what 9 seconds is all about. It's about making sure that no other woman, child, family has to go through what I went through, what my fellow survivors have went through, what my fellow champions have went through. And 9 seconds is built with a community of individuals, domestic violence champions, who are committed to the mission to prevent domestic violence. We're committed to you. So if you are a woman who is out there and you are contemplating leaving, if you have left, but he's constantly calling, trying to draw you back, because that happened to me, I get it. There's a temptation there, and we'll talk about that temptation again in another video. We've got at least 31 videos this month. So we're going to cover a variety of topics, but ladies, gentlemen, because it does happen to men as well, if this is you, if you are that person who isn't quite sure where to go, isn't quite sure what type of help you need, I encourage you just to reach out. Reach out to me, reach out to one of our training and support advocates. Visit our website at 9seconds.org and take a look at some of the programs that we offer. We will be starting up a support group. That's going to start in December. We'll have our first support group meeting. So if you're interested in joining the support group, there'll be ways for you to join the group, to remain anonymous, for as long as you choose to remain anonymous, because I understand firsthand how hard it can be to walk into a room or to enter a group or to be able to share your story with someone when the emotion is like stuck right here. It's stuck in the middle of your throat. And I want to make sure, and my team wants to make sure, that every program that we offer, every service that we provide, every group that we welcome you into as part of the 9 Seconds community, that we take into account and into consideration the ability for you to remain comfortable in seeking the training and seeking the resources. Will some of the stuff make you uncomfortable? Yes, I won't lie to you. Growth is freaking hard. Transition is freaking hard. Getting out of a rut is hard. Digging up the roots of your past is hard. All of those things are uncomfortable. Making sure that you prevent yourself from getting back into or remaining in an abusive relationship is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. But what I commit to you and what the team here commits to you is that you found a safe landing place. You found a safe landing place. You will be surrounded. You will be loved on. You will be supported. We are committed to you, to your health, your safety, and your success. So again, if you're interested in the support group that's coming up in December, go to 9seconds.org. There is a button on there for you to connect with us, to reach out to one of the support advocates, put your name on the list, and we will, and to that, you can put an anonymous name. We just need to know how to get a hold of you so that we can get you the information on the training and the support resources that you're going to require. So 9seconds.org. My name is Marci Batiste. I am the executive director. I'm the founder. This is a heart-centered mission for everyone here on the team that is involved. We want you to succeed. We want you to be successful. We want you to have the tools and the resources and the training that you require that's going to build you up. At the end of the day, the best thing that we can hear is thank you. That's the best thing. We thank you. I get it. Thank you. I got it. Thank you for the help. Thank you for, like, that. Those two words mean so much. So if there's any way that I can serve you, if you have questions from anything that I've talked about in this video, please don't hesitate to reach out to me either on social media. You can find me me personally on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, pretty much everywhere under MRB Holdings LLC. And then you can also go to 9 Seconds DVP on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter. And just reach out any which way you can, and we'll make sure that we get you pointed in the right direction to get you the help that you need, provide the training that you require, and make sure that we prevent domestic violence together. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for joining me.